That's enough of that. We in this thing. That's enough of that. I mean, whoa. Welcome, family. Peace, 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 family. Grand rising, family. Grand arrival, family. Grand return, family. Everyone didn't get here the same way. Everyone didn't get here the same way. Some of y'all just arriving. Some of y'all returning. Some of y'all ain't never left. Shouts out to all of y'all. Wow. Okay. Y'all like the little Kango joint, you know? Vintage Q out here. We only age better with, like, we like wine. We only age with more richness, fulfillment. I'm still trying to process almost 150-pound Q. I'm still processing that. How did I get 150 pounds? I mean, even during COVID, I wasn't putting no weight on. So we all get here different ways. I just have my client who is out there in, I'm not sure if it was Romania or Ukraine. We had a regression today. It's kind of different. I'm not even going to lie to you. For those of you who just now found my channel as your first video you ever watched, I am a subconscious regressionist and specialist. I focus on regression therapy. Sometimes you call that past life regression therapy, but what I offer is way more extensive than just past life. There's many directions your soul reaches out to. Think of it like a sun. You know how you have sun rays and the rays shoot out in all different directions? That's what your soul is doing. So don't necessarily get lost in one formation, Beyonce. But nevertheless, I kind of often regress my clients. And a lot of different things happen. I mean, God and goddess versions of themselves show up. Devil, alien. Everything but what I would refer to as, I guess, the multi-version of yourself. And I want you to realize that the multi-version of you doesn't just mean right now. So science wants to tell you the multiverse is an infinite versions, an infinite number of versions of you that kind of represent the now. One version of you went left, another version of you went right, but it's still based on this current version of you. But have you ever conceptualized that the multiverse also has to do with past lives, but not past lives of this timeline? What? What you mean past lives of me, not of this timeline? Well, just regressed my client today, and he saw a version of himself from a different Earth. And in this Earth, during the 1600s, they developed technology that we have right now. Now, the version of him in the 1600s referred to himself as Anthony. It was about 1650, and it looks just like now. So their modern society is like almost 500 years before us. So they've developed Wi-Fi, Apple computers, all that, almost 500 years before we did. And this is a tea I sell on my website, family. This is a special tea. It's a special tea. Head on over to my website and get you some teas, y'all. It's a special tea. Okay. There's a lot I want to say. So this version of my client was rich, had everything he needed. and also have the ability to use what we will consider mental exercises. Basically, in their timeline, they're taught to connect to other versions of themselves in the multiverse. And this is how he found my client. Now, my client's about 24 years old. Anthony was about 30, about 6 years older than my current client. Anthony discovered how to live into the 400s. But basically, because this video ain't about regressions, but basically, in that timeline, they have gotten so complacent that they've gotten so laxative, lethargic, that they've almost lost what it means to be human. They have everything they need. It's almost like what some of us can equate to in this timeline. Once AI starts to take over the jobs and feed humanity and all the other things AI is going to be doing, it's going to kind of remove the human element or the human aspect. And then people are going to get lazy. And Anthony comes from a multiverse, or comes from an earth that's connected to a multiverse that realized that the laziness is a disease. Very similar to the empty that I talked about in a previous video. But the laziness spread across earth. And they've actually evolved into what we refer to as grays. And because they are mentally adept, they're able to actually talk to their future selves. So in this timeline, they talk to grays. And the grays tell them that in order for them to change this timeline, they have to connect to an alternate version of themselves, which is then where my client comes in. Now, that's a whole nother video. I'm not going to sit here and focus too much on that because there's just so much I want to talk about today. It seems like every time I come up here, I just be having more and more. I just be having more and more to say. Thank you, Carvin. The regression moon day was the truth. Happy to be of service. Happy to help in any way I can. Now, family, I'm not the richest individual in the world. So keep in mind, supporting this channel is very, very important. There are things that I have to solve. It's kind of like life is an equation. And at the end of the day, you're always having things thrown at you. And those of you who are aware that teeth is a common issue amongst the spiritual community, the way that they attack our teeth, make it hard for us to speak, make it hard for us to smile, make it hard for us to feel comfortable in our own skin. Now, we have a society that's big on changing who you are, whether it's breast or your sex. We have a society that's big on that. But nevertheless, the damaging of teeth is a real thing. And I'm currently working on, because put it like this, teeth surgery is extremely expensive. I got to get about $7,000 worth of work done. Basically, root canals and crowns and all that stuff that comes with it. I do have insurance. So my insurance is willing to cover about half of it. But I still got to come up with damn near about 3 racks. So this is all I'm saying. Supporting the channel is helpful. Every dollar counts. No, I'm not asking nobody to help me with my dental surgery. Even though if one of y'all out there that want to help me, please, I'll take it. But nevertheless, just turtle race. We'll take it slow. But remember, helping me is helping you. Some of you could be going through some teeth issues right now. And you may not have the money to fix your teeth issues. But if you really care for someone or love someone, do you go outside yourself? So what if you offer $5 towards the helping of my teeth and don't realize that the universe looks at that as an action of selflessness? And then the universe in return gives you $500. But you don't understand how the universe works. Selfishness is a complicated thing, and most people are too selfish to go outside of themselves. So anyway, like I said, things like this $2 is just $2 to you, but this is $2 to me to go towards some of the things I need to be comfortable on this platform, while trying to tell y'all some of the crazy things that's happening inside and outside of you. So basically, we just got to survive until 2030. We make it to 2030, we could just regrow our teeth. And we almost there. It's about 5-6 years left. So 5-6 years, it ain't the longest, but it ain't the quickest. And to go 5 years uncomfortable without having your teeth situated can be difficult. But if we could survive till 2030, they're growing teeth back. All right, so that's my little rant. If anyone feels generous, $Q Reaves. And let's get into it. Peace, family. Shouts out to April in the building. Shouts out to Australia. Australia in the building. Inner Mystic, thank you so much. Respect the content. Thank you, family. Thank you. More specifically, just respecting how the universe operates, which is out of a balancing equation. Just keep that in mind. You could cash app or super chat, whatever you feel. Whatever you feel. There is no rules or restrictions. No one should tell you how to give. So whatever way you feel, thank you. Now I got an image on the screen. Have you ever seen this image before? I got an image on this screen. Have you ever seen this image before? Okay, Michael. You out here knowing some things. You actually a lot more dialed in than you know. Kind of like a tennis court. Get it? Venus? I won't even get into that. If I told you the secret about Venus, do you know Venus emerged out of Jupiter? Let's not even get into there. But let me help y'all. All right? This is an ancient symbol for man. Many of you heard of a rapper by the name of Drake. Drake calls himself Champagne Poppy. Why does Drake call himself Champagne Poppy? Because he understands the esoteric nature of the world we're in right now. And the top of this, because this is a symbol for man, the top of this represents the cup. Okay? This, like this, is a symbol for the cup. Another name for it is the champagne glass. And this shows that you can house the primordial water, more specifically plasma. This is why I have the light inside of this. Plasma. That you are a vessel that can house plasma. Plasma. The fourth state. You have liquid. You have solid. You have gas. And then you have plasma. Interesting, right? Well, he considers himself a plasmatic being, a light being, a god, a sixth god specifically. So he's talking about Saturn, and that he's not talking about the cup, but he's reversing the man and actually talking about the bell. But stay with me. This represents the cup. This represents the housing of one's light or plasma. These little symbols represent torus field. Another word would be sphere of influence. And you have two spheres influencing you. One we refer to as time. The other we refer to as gravity. But on an easier level, you have the L's, or electricity. And then you have the mass, or the magnetism. And these two systems create your aura, your electric magnetic field, your torus field. And one of these fields are influenced by the cup. And another one of these fields is influenced by the ball or bell. And this represents the bell. This represents sound. This represents light. Y'all got it? Because I got to get to the next part. Remember, this video ain't even about this. I'm just trying to be nice. Now, light and sound. Why is that important? What makes plasma is the moment that light attaches itself to sound. And when sound is attached to plasma, It has the fastest vibratory rate. So for example, I can communicate to you through gas. Sound travels the air. It's gas. And we use the power of the air or gas to experience each other's sounds. So sound enters a lesser form of light we refer to as gas. Sound can also travel through water, liquid, echolocation. Sound can travel through water, another form of lesser light. Sound can even travel through a solid object. What do you think we're doing on this computer right now? What do you think your cell phone is? What do you think you are? Sound can travel through liquid, solid, or gas. But the moment that sound enters into a plasmatic state, or sound attaches itself to plasma, things start moving a little different. Things start moving a little faster. And I guess I'll probably come up here and talk about this. But another word for sound is ether. And ether is expressing itself inside of the body of plasma. And the moment that plasma embeds itself with ether, it's also embedding itself into a quantum field. Science is going to understand these things soon. But that's all I'm going to give you out right now. Because today's video, the Galactic Federation, they don't stop talking to me. The Galactic Federation. You know, Star Trek. The Galactic Federation. Donald Trump has knowledge of this? Is there any proof for this? America unlocked. So then it's like Americans locked right now? And what happens when an American unlocks itself? Remember, America used to be the land of giants. So is there a connection between the unlocking of oneself and the synchronizing with yourself from antiquity in a giant-like form? Anything is possible.
Former Israel.
Woo, this is exciting. Blue, thank you, family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. T-Fun United. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Do you know I done spent over $20,000 on my teeth already? This shit is crazy. And it's genetics. My father lost all his damn teeth at 30 years old. My grandfather lost all his teeth at like 28. People often think teeth issues is sometimes lifestyle, and it isn't always lifestyle. Genetics play a huge role. Let's get it. Bro, this is news. Now, this specific news clip comes from The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But there are NBC articles and Fox News articles that also speak on this topic. Now, this was something that they spoke very vaguely about, and it was 3 years ago. See the timestamp? 3 years ago. Let me rewind this. Remember, they're always trying to tell us truth in the angle of comedy. The movie Coming to America, Eddie Murphy plays a black king with wealth beyond our imagination, which means that the technology may be there as well. We see Black Panther, T'Challa. He is a king with wealth and technology beyond our imagination. And both of them are coming to America. Why are they coming to America? Because this is about the Anunnaki, or the return of the melanated gods showing up in America. This is what that movie was in the 80s. It's truth in plain sight. Now, I'm going to play another clip in a second, but why would Trump be privy to extraterrestrials? He ain't the deep state, so you damn sure know the deep state ain't giving him this information. So why would Trump be privy to this? Well, let's ask this question. Have any of you ever heard of the time travel theory in connection to Donald Trump? I want to give you an opportunity to chime in on the chat. Have any of you heard, you even heard of a book, but have any of you heard of the time travel theory with Trump? Y'all too smart. Y'all too smart. Y'all dangerous. Y'all dangerous. Ooh, y'all dangerous. Whoa. 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 Too much. It's too much. Y'all all agree. How? The theory is Donald Trump's uncle was one of the first federal agents to enter Nikola Tesla's hotel that he was living in when he died. The theory is that he gathered up blueprints on creating something we now refer to as Project Looking Glass, but basically technology using technology using 0 point energy to be able to see into the future, to even travel into the future. Now, I'm still conceptualizing if this is physical traveling or mental traveling. Now, what I mean mental traveling? Well, there are individuals who have the ability to project their consciousness inside of a fetus. So imagine if the consciousness of Donald Trump's uncle, was born with Trump. And as Trump is maturing or growing up, he hears something else almost talking to him, giving him guidance. He may have thought it was extraterrestrial. He may have thought it was whatever the hell he thought it was. But what if he actually did it? He used his wealth to create a machine that allows him to look into the future. And if this was possible, then it's even more likely that extraterrestrials saw this and decided to connect with him. Now, in the movie Back to the Future 2, the character known as Biff represents Donald Trump in the traveling back and giving information, and that's one way they were trying to show it. they also have another movie that they refuse to show. This is craziness. Look at this shit. We refer to this movie as Super Mario Brothers. This movie came out in 1993. This movie has so many codes and gems in it. It is ridiculous. And guess what? You can't even watch it. It's not even streaming. You can't even watch this movie. It's not even streaming. Now, of course, I have it. And if any of you are interested in being able to obtain a copy of this movie, reach out to me directly. We could figure something out. But in this movie, it speaks on a timeline where reach out directly. Reach out directly. What if I was to tell you I got a Blu-ray copy of it? I saw in the chat someone said I have it on VHS, which is clean. A copy's better than no copy. But what if I tell you I got a high definition version of it? Now, in this movie, the reptilian species do not get exterminated. They get put in an alternate universe. They don't die out. They just instantaneously shift to a different Earth. And this Earth now supports the maturing of a reptilian species. There then is a character in this movie shit. And this is another depiction of Donald Trump. Now, many ask, what side is Trump on? He is on the side of productivity. Now, I don't think people quite understand what I mean when I say side of productivity. But I don't know if you noticed, in the last 4 years, we haven't gotten shit. The tech, the TVs, everything. I mean, I remember a time of innovation almost. Like, we got excited. What's going to come out this year? What we're going to watch during December? Like, we would be excited about intervention. But there's no intervention. There's no nuance. It's fucking boring. And a person like Trump, Trump, lizard tongue, this is stimulation. This is an individual that is addicted to stimulation, not stay inside and close the doors. That does not produce productivity. So what does Trump represent? We outside. Simply put, we outside. Now, when we get outside, that's going to be a whole nother situation. But we outside. And then ultimately, the goal is for these reptilian entities to be able to show themselves the moment we get outside. I like that term. It's a good term to describe Trump. It's a lot of stuff happening. Think about it. You know, people who like to be slapped, choked, people who like aggression. This is a reptilian construct. Reptiles fight. Even the reptilian species, when they want to like court or get the attention of another female, it's fighting. It's aggression. Sometimes biting them, headbutting. It's aggression. Think Sparta. If you don't have some battle scars, if you don't got, a broken rib every now and then, you ain't really moving right. So I could just imagine someone who's addicted to feeling something. Well, then a bullet would be right in alignment with that, would it not? What if it was an aphrodisiac? Pow! That's what I think. Ooh, shoot the other air. Take the other one out. Stimulation. All right, now let's get to a more realistic clip. Feel me? I hope I ain't the only one that saw that. Bro liked that. He liked that. He liked that. On top of the fact, I'm not going to lie to you. I used to be in a really wild... I used to be a part of like the dark side of New York. And the individuals that participate in the dark side of New York are around celebrities, are around politicians, are around important people. And if you don't think they talk about their experiences, and I have heard several times that this individual, the Donald, likes aggression. It is an aphrodisiac. It is a turn on.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United...
Bro, 30 years. This is someone that has been operating in this arena for 30 plus years that is coming out saying Donald Trump knows what's up. And if he's not a part of the cabal, if he's not a part of the deep state, and he knows the same things that the Vatican, the cabal, and the deep state know, hell yeah, that's a threat. Because what if he tells y'all? Which is, what do you think he's been doing with the whole QAnon, and what do you think he's been doing?
The United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is.
So are they talking about the immaturity of humanity or the maturity of humanity? For example, the fact that people do not realize that space is a container for light. And the only way you're going to be able to even understand space, one must first understand their light. Why do you think it's called a soul? Now, this has a lot to do with Saturn as well, but I'm not going to get into that. But just a little tidbit. Earth and Saturn used to be a binary system that revolved around the sun and unity. And it wasn't until the ejection of a sphere from Jupiter and the formation of Venus where things changed. But in order to understand light, you need a space to project your light within. This is why Saturn tends to be the space or the cube to do so. It's almost like Saturn is like a school, and you have to graduate Saturn. And the only way you graduate Saturn is to illuminate so bright that you pop out or break one's box or dimensions of restrictions within self. We can call these things different things.
Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. Now, this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing.
What? What?
Nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the US Armed Forces. Well, we did ask.
This is when I say he's talking to us, but you have to see the code. This is the only president that created a public system connected to space. Yes, we have the Navy. Yes, we have NASA. And yes, their asses is dealing with space as well. But it's not like we could see what's really happening there. So he wanted to create a transparent system so that we can start ushering transparency when it comes to extraterrestrials. I mean, think about what would happen if humans actually discovered extraterrestrials. They stopped fighting each other. They stopped race warring. And the level of productivity that would happen on this earth. The golden age to a degree. Just imagine.
Ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded to the NBC News request, and I wonder if they ever will. Alison.
Now we're gonna leave it there because I got some more fun stuff for us to kind of watch. I don't want to get lost to Donald Trump news. He got enough news right now. He got enough attention right now. he don't need more from us. He got enough attention himself. Now, I'm gonna play this clip. Hopefully YouTube don't be tripping. If they do, those that are watching this on repeat probably won't see this next clip. And I'm gonna mention it. This is a Rick and Morty clip speaking on the Galactic Federation. But YouTube be on some, you can't share this, and I might have to snip it or take it out of the final version of this video. But damn it, I'm going to play it anyway, because we're at least 250 people here. We could watch this together. And let me just thank you, King, for the Cash App. Free Falling, thank you. Tyler, thank you. Michael, thank you. Janetta, thank you. Liuli. Thank you. Curtis, thank you. Ricardo, thank you. Erison, thank you. Hugh, thank you. Amata, thank you. Thank you. All right, and I got y'all other messages. I'm going to respond. I got y'all. Let me just focus on this live.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us about your relationship with this previously unknown galactic government?
All the important points seem pretty clear, no? They think they control the galaxy. I disagree. Don't hate the player, hate the game, son. I don't like it here, Morty. I can't abide bureaucracy. I don't like being told where to go and what to do. I consider it a
And this is what the Galactic Federation is known for. And keep in mind, thank you for this. This is for educational purposes only. Do not cancel me like Kanye, and don't try to limit my video.
violation. Did you get those seeds all the way up your butt? Yeah, Rick. Let's just get this over with, okay? I mean, these things are pointy. They hurt.
Okay, next through. Except you. You go over there.
Why does he have to go over there?
Random check. He's got to go through the new machine.
What new machine?
It's a new machine. It detects stuff all the way up your butt.
Run, Morty! Run! Red alert! I need to type in the coordinates to our home world, Morty. Cover me!
Oh, man. I mean, you know, I don't want to shoot nobody.
They're just robots, Morty. It's okay to shoot them. They're robots.
Relax, shut up.
Glenn's bleeding to death. Someone call his wife.
Now, it's interesting that they're showing insects, because through regression therapy, I connect to, like, I guess, what we believe to be extraterrestrials. And they've always kind of told me there was an order. The order was AI. From AI, and it wasn't called AI. It's another name for it. But sometimes I call it Aeon, or Eon. But there was a consciousness known as Eon or Aeon. And then there was a hive-like construct shortly after this that were insectoid species or insectoid extraterrestrials. The insectoid extraterrestrials were then responsible for creating what we would call robotoids. I even discovered Lilith was one of these manifestations of these insectoid species. From the insectoids emerged a reptilian and a nomo fish amphibian like construct. These are then the next creations to kind of show themselves. Shortly after the emergence of reptiles were these feline beings, and shortly after the emergence of these amphibians were bird-like beings. And if you want to understand like sides, all right, well, the best way I'll say is that the insectoid and reptilian and robotic species are kind of on one system, and then you have the felines, dogs as well, just hairy beings, but felines and bird like creatures, and they work together. Now, is there ever civil conflicts? Hell yeah. It has them civil conflicts led to new systems or orders? Yes. This is what we refer to as the Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation is an infusion of all of them species I've spoken of. This is why when you watch Star Trek, you literally see the infusion of all those different things. But you have insectoid species, you have robotoid species, you have cat-like and dog-like species, you have fish-like species, reptilian-like species, and they've all had their own civil war. If you want to understand the civil war against the reptiles, you have some reptiles that chose to eat meat and other reptiles that chose to remain vegetarian, where they don't. They only eat vegetation. You know, the war of sirens versus mermaids or mermen. These are both amphibian-like entities that had their own civil wars. The wars of dogs and cats. These are feline or mammalian-like constructs that are warring amongst themselves. You have the birds, and you have some birds that say, I ain't even going to get to the air no more. I'm going to stay on the ground. Pigeon, and even help create an entity known as a pig. You have crows, you have owls that don't fuck with eagles, and get it? It's internal civil wars as well. But there's so much going on that it's not even a matter of you focusing on these civilizations. It's to start realizing their attributes or their behaviors and identifying aspects of yourself to that. So then you can figure out more about self and what you are projecting or connected to in a subconscious, unconscious state.
They're not robots, Rick! It's a figure of speech, Morty. They're bureaucrats. I don't respect them.
You know,
Speech, Morty. They're bureaucrats. Shut up! Glenn's bleeding to death! Someone call his wife and children! They're not robots, Rick! It's a figure of speech, Morty. They're bureaucrats. I don't respect them.
You see that connection? Insects, robots. I didn't even watch this clip. I didn't even know they were going to say that. And it's showing that connection. But this is why it's important to trust yourselves, family. You have to start doing exercises that show that you trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more the energies inside you are going to trust you. The more the universe trusts you. The more everything you connect to and associate with trust you. And trust is a dualistic thing. You need to trust yourself. And as those around you see you trusting yourself, they will start trusting you more. And then that would then help them start trusting themselves. And it just constantly creates a chain reaction from that. But all the doubt in the world created doubting ass people. It's less trust in this world and way more doubt. We got to start fixing that. And y'all are responsible for that.
You know, in a lot of ways, I'm not a high school senior from the planet Earth. In a lot of ways, what I really am is a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation, and you guys are a group of wanted criminals, and this entire building is, in a certain sense, surrounded.
Is your neighbor a plant for the Galactic Federation? Is your boss? Is your wife? Is your husband? Remember, truth in plain sight.
Come on, this way!
The obscure planet known as Earth, formerly the hiding place of interstellar terrorist and fugitive Rick Sanchez, has just become the 6,048th planet to join the Galactic Federation.
I'd like very much to visit.
I hope y'all just saw that. I'm not going to tell you, but do you see this? Hold on. Let's move it slow.
Federation has just become the
See that? What's that remind you of? What's that remind you of? Remember what we all had to deal with? What Big Pharma was doing for the last 2-3 years? What if we are already a part of the Galactic Federation? What if what happened in 2020 was the event to trigger, to activate our introduction into the Galactic Federation? And I want you to understand that these entities love operating out of the frequency of 10. It's very important to them. So it would take 10 years for them to kind of reestablish Earth into the Galactic Federation. In 2030, they may show themselves to you. This is why 2030 is very important. 2030 is very, very, very important. Look what they're showing you right here on the show.
6,048th planet to join the Galactic Federation.
I'd like very much to visit the memory of you inventing your portal gun.
Yeah, well, tough titties.
There's no tougher titty than a psychotic break, Rick.
Well, that depends on who breaks first. Me or the titty.
Mission Control, you getting this?
Holy shit, yes! Yes, we got it!
Thanks, Rick. I'll try to remember to shut off the brainalyzer.
I have processed that you are in distress and have prescribed
Introduction of robots. Remember what we're about to experience in the next 10 years. AI, robots, and forced reconfiguration. You gotta be careful on this platform.
antidepressants, compliments of the Galactic Federation.
Wow.
I feel better.
Your debt is 7,000 Fed credits. Report to the Ministry of Employment and you will be assigned a function.
Bro, what? What? Okay, so now you owe the Galactic Federation, Federation, and you need to go work out your debt, work off your debt. What's crazy is Naya had a premonition about 2 years ago that everyone that did them messed up little PPPs and all that other stuff, they just got y'all. They doing the same thing Target doing. They doing the same thing Walmart doing. They're creating a track record. They're creating a log of all the fuck shit you do. Because when it's time for them to have you do the work, this is your crime. This is what you got to do to fix it. Literally truth in plain sight. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Kevon. Thank you so much, Rochelle. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, family. Thank you. Teamwork. Look, they didn't say nothing about no money. They said credits. This is facts. What if they created the whole system of credit just so they can get to this moment? You had no idea of credit. So how they gonna tell you credits? They ain't gonna say money. They don't operate out of money. They operate out of digital credit, like a debt. What if they created all of these things for 2030? Think about it.
Honey, I got a job!
It's a trap! Abort! I'm still in his Shoney's. Repeat!
Showing hard to have a job during this time frame. Not even necessarily to get a job. It's just hard to have a job during this time frame. Pay attention to all these little things. On top of the fact that the insects dressed up like men in black.
We never left his Shoney's! Mission accomplished, boys. Pull me out.
Roger that. Abort! We never left his...
I tell you, the Galactic Federation taking over Earth, best thing that's ever happened to this family.
Damn. Hold on. Look. Now, I know y'all done seen the clips of the flying cars they about to come out with. truth in plain sight. All this stuff is symbolic for the introduction of the Galactic Federation. I don't fuck with them like that. I'm going to just be real with you, and they already know it. And the Galactic Federation is not the Orion Council. And the Galactic Federation is not the Anunnaki. Now, are the Anunnaki initiated into the Orion Council? Yes, but the Orion Council, these are three separate things. And when one gets introduced, be ready for the others to start popping out. Sometimes you gotta pop out and shell niggas. You don't think they possess Kendrick? There's so many codes just in not like us. I should do a video just breaking down what he's really saying and not like us.
I tell you, the Galactic Federation taking over Earth, best thing that's ever happened to this family. I just got my 6th promotion this week, and I still don't know what I do.
Who cares how high they promote you? Everyone just gets paid in pills.
One thing still perplexes me. Why would Rick Sanchez turn himself in?
Well, I'm just a dumbass bug, but it's possible Rick knew he'd be interrogated at this facility where we not only keep our most wanted, but our most sensitive data. Anyone here with level 9 access could, I don't know, collapse the government. I'm just gonna go take a dump. Is it cool if I use the level 9 bathrooms? What's the level 9 master access code again?
Oh, it's easy. 83.
What the? We just teleported into a galactic federal prison. I'm gonna go take a shit. And that is how you get level 9 access without a password. Freeze! Employee of the month, ladies and gentlemen.
So what are you doing with level 9 access anyways?
Destroying the galactic government.
Awesome!
Cool.
Are you going to set all their nukes to target each other?
Or reprogram their military portals to disintegrate their entire space fleet?
Good pitches, kids. I'm almost proud. Watch closely as Grandpa topples an empire by changing a 1 to a 0.
Mr. President, the Blemflark's value just dropped to nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, our single centralized galactic currency just went from being worth 1 of itself to 0 of its.
Which means it's going to be a digital cryptocurrency. This is the Feds is trying to come out with their own cryptocurrency. And I want you to understand the federal government is a micro version of the Galactic Federation. The federal government does what the Galactic Federation tells them to do. And do you see this? Do you see this? So like in this case, you can kind of think of Elon and Trump kind of like Rick and Morty. And Elon and Trump right now is kind of Rick and Morty in the Galactic Federation. Fucking him up. What you mean you about to give Trump $45 million a week? And then I did the math. Elon, out of his own pocket, can give Trump $45 million for the next 16 years. $45 million for the next 16 years. And that's just what he's worth now. Imagine if he used the next 16 years to make the money back. To just listen, I need you to understand that Elon has the type of money that can change the infrastructure of a country. Imagine if he offered $45 million a month to help with the building up of America. Why not? It don't even look like Elon give a fuck about the money like that. He ain't Bezos. Them is two different operatives.
Self.
Oh, dear God, no.
Calm down, people. There's a solution here you're not seeing.
Give me your jacket! Give me those pants!
He who controls the pants controls the galaxy!
My bosses are bugs, Rick. You killed the old ones. The new ones are half my age. They know if you're left alone, you're a non-threat.
Congratulations, Earth, on being destroyed by the NX-5. Brought to you by Wrangler.
Come on, kids. We have to go do a piece of Star Wars.
Attention Zeta 99-2. We know you have a stolen ship. Stand down.
Oh, am I not a non-threat now?
Hey, you are not cleared to land. We will open fire.
Hold your ground, men. You'll be heroes.
The NX5 can't destroy Wrangler genes.
Like it literally can't destroy them, or it's programmed not to?
Gee, what do you think? It's marketing, like the NX5 destroy.
Did y'all catch that? They slick. So whatever weapon they got, they're saying it can't kill off every single person. Certain people on the planet have a genetic configuration that can't be touched. Their advanced technology can't fuck with them. Truth in plain sight.
Destroys the whole planet except for the Wrangler genes.
Because they're so tough. Tougher than the laser? Stupid.
You're talking about it.
You're right. They got me.
Hey, over here, look at me.
Did you just see a pantsless little boy run by?
I'm not falling for that again.
NX5 Corp.
Now, if you want me to kind of give you my guess on what they're talking about Wrangler genes, they're talking about those who have activated their Taurus field. So a Wrangler is someone who wrangles up cows. Another word for a Wrangler would be a cowboy. And if you've shown allegiance to the cow, to the feminine polarity, and in addition to understanding your Taurus field, one can survive a galactic war that may place itself on this planet while we are still on this planet.
Corporate sponsor detected. Cannot penetrate Wranglers. Built too tough. Built too.
Why can't I meet your parents? Are you embarrassed of me?
No, of them.
Aw.
Very interesting episode. See, I try to tell you, I try to watch these things with y'all. That way you can get a genuine reaction. I don't know what the hell is about to come up neither. All right. Here's the next clip I thought was really interesting.
Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, this message is not a greeting, but a dire and urgent warning concerning humanity. Humans are, in many respects, remarkably average in terms of intelligence. They can range from incredibly ingenious to surprisingly simple. I have encountered humans capable of directing entire asteroid fields out of star systems and mining them clean of resources without the aid of AI. Yet these same individuals struggle with mundane tasks like restocking a vending machine. Another human might falter at simple arithmetic, but can repair a fusion reactor with nothing more than a pipe wrench. In terms of combat ability, let us not consider humanity's elite super soldiers, the legionnaires, but rather the average human grunt. I know riflemen who are poor marksmen with a Gatling gun, but become unparalleled warriors when wielding a knife. Conversely, a human sniper can hit a coin-sized target from 2 miles away in a hurricane, but would be outmatched in a boxing ring. Humanity encompasses the fastest and slowest, the smartest and dumbest, the fiercest fighters and the most ardent pacifists among us. This diversity is why humans have found a unique niche within galactic society, simultaneously admired and resented. Humans can adapt to almost any environment suitable to their biology, becoming indistinguishable from their kin through sheer tenacity. Yet my purpose is not to sing their praises, but to issue a serious warning. Humans are far more dangerous than they realize, especially when it comes to their children. All species are protective of their young, but humans take this to a new level. Allow me to recount an incident involving a human crew member named Casey, who served as a janitor aboard my ship, the Radiant Dawn. Casey quickly bonded with the younglings aboard, becoming their unofficial caretaker. During a routine cargo trip to a human colony, our ship was attacked by the notorious Ronnie pirates, the King's Masons. They disabled our ship and began looting, cutting their way into the cargo bay where Casey and the children were located. When a pirate threatened the children, Casey stood her ground despite being overpowered. She instructed the children to hide, protecting them with an unwavering resolve. The pirate's offhand comment about making juvenile-flavored soup triggered an extraordinary response. With a ferocity born of pure instinct, Casey defended the children, overpowering the pirate through sheer determination and bravery. The other pirates, witnessing Casey's unwavering defense and sensing her resolve, hesitated. In the face of her protective instinct, they chose to retreat. We managed to restore basic functionality to our ship and make an emergency jump to the human colony. When the human fleet arrived to assist us, they simply shrugged when informed of Casey's actions, considering them typical of human behavior. Humans possess an unparalleled instinct to protect juveniles regardless of species.
Yep.
This instinct drives them to acts of bravery and selflessness, often disregarding their own safety. This protective nature is even more pronounced with their own children and close ones. I urge you to heed this warning. Do not, under any circumstances, harm a child in the presence of a human. You risk provoking a force driven by the most potent instinct in the universe.
You hear this? I hope y'all. This is important. This is our super weapon. Our children. This is why attacking the nuclear home is so important. To make you not care about the children anymore. This is why I'm playing this clip.
Parenthood. This aspect of humanity makes them formidable allies or fearsome enemies. Choose your actions wisely. Sincerely, Prax Thrawn, Captain of the Radiant Dawn Human Space Epsilon Station. As Captain Prax Thrawn sent his urgent message to the Galactic Council, Casey's actions aboard the Radiant Dawn became a topic of fascination among the crew. The younglings, a mix of various species, began to see her not just as a caretaker, but as a protector. Casey's bond with the children deepened, and she became an integral part of their lives, teaching them games, stories, and skills from Earth. Casey's influence extended beyond her role as a janitor. She started to assist in various ship operations, showcasing her versatility and adaptability. Her ability to connect with the crew members and younglings alike made her a beloved figure aboard the Radiant Dawn. Meanwhile, Captain Prax Thrawn continued to monitor the Galactic Council's response to his warning. He knew that the message he had sent was critical, and he awaited their acknowledgement with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The Council's understanding of humanity's unique protective instincts could shape the future interactions between humans and other species. In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, the members received Captain Prax Thrawn's warning with mixed reactions.
All right. I've actually seen this on like social media. And this is what I would tell you. What they did on Epstein Island wasn't just okay. Epstein Island is no different than like a club. Tuesday nights, maybe R&B night. Thursday night is college night. Friday night for the swingers. Saturday night for everyone who likes to dress up like furries. Sunday, the religious folks that like to come together and get freaky. This was how Epstein's Island was. I need you to stop thinking so. Not you, L. You great. I'm just saying people. We like to just think limited. And we have to expand our horizon. So if there is an island where you can do whatever the fuck you want, it just depends on what you into. This is why I believe Trump and others are nervous. And this is why I also believe they didn't release the list like that. Because not everyone on that list was into the younger aspects of things. Some of them maybe like dressing up like furries. Some of them like to bring their wife in and we all can start a swinging like monkeys on this island. So there's the word. It's a fantasy island. And it's there to fulfill your fantasies, and it's ritualistic in a way to limit the realm of fantasia. Get back to this story.
Actions. High Chancellor Xylar, a wise and experienced leader, called for a session to discuss the implications of the message. Representatives from various species gathered, each bringing their perspectives on humanity and their potential threat or allyship. Chancellor Xylar began the session. Captain Thrawn has brought to our attention a critical aspect of humanity that we must understand. Their protective instincts towards children, regardless of species, could be both a strength and a danger. We must deliberate on how to approach this knowledge. Ambassador Lyra of the Tarian Alliance spoke first. We have long known humans to be versatile and adaptive. This new information about their protective nature only confirms their potential as valuable allies. We should seek to strengthen our bonds with them. Contrarily, General Crox of the Zevran fleet expressed caution. While their protective instincts are commendable, we cannot ignore the potential threat they pose. A species driven by such powerful emotions can be unpredictable. We must approach this with caution and ensure our defenses are prepared. The deliberations continued for hours, with each representative weighing in. The Council ultimately decided to send a delegation to Human Space Epsilon Station to learn more about humanity's protective instincts firsthand and establish a dialogue to ensure mutual understanding and cooperation. A delegation from the Galactic Council arrived at Human Space Epsilon Station, led by Ambassador Lyra and General Crox. They were greeted by Captain Prax Thrawn and Casey, who had become a symbol of humanity's unique traits. The delegation spent days observing the humans, interacting with them, and learning about their culture and values. Casey shared her experiences and insights with the delegation, explaining how her instincts to protect the younglings had driven her actions during the pirate attack. The delegates witnessed the deep bonds between Casey and the children, understanding that her actions were a manifestation of a universal human trait. As the delegation prepared to return to the Council, Ambassador Lyra spoke to Captain Thrawn. Your message has opened our eyes to a profound aspect of humanity. We see now that your people's protective instincts are not just a potential threat, but a remarkable strength. We will convey this understanding to the Council and work towards a harmonious relationship. General Crox added, while we must remain vigilant, we also recognize the value of having such allies. Humanity's strength lies not just in their abilities, but in their hearts. We will recommend measures to ensure that our future interactions are based on mutual respect and cooperation. Upon their return, the delegation's report led to a new era of cooperation between.
Just in case we didn't catch that, humanity's superpower, the protection over their children, and the ability to truly use one's heart. These are like threats. They're fearful that you discovered the power of your heart, meaning you've learned how to fill the emptiness with love.
Humanity and the Galactic Council. Policies were enacted to foster mutual understanding, and joint ventures were established to explore and protect the galaxy together. The Radiant Dawn became a symbol of this alliance, with Captain Prax Thrawn and Casey representing the unity between humans and other species. Casey's bond with the younglings continued to inspire others, and her story was shared across the galaxy. She was invited to speak at various interstellar events, where she emphasized the importance of protecting the vulnerable and working together for a better future. Humanity's unique traits, once seen as average, were now recognized as exceptional. Their adaptability, diversity, and protective instincts became pillars of strength in the Galactic Federation. The Alliance thrived, and the galaxy witnessed an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity, all sparked by the actions of one remarkable human aboard the Radiant Dawn. Years later, Captain Prax Thrawn and Casey were celebrated as pioneers of interstellar unity. The Galactic Council established the Prax-Casey Institute, dedicated to fostering understanding and cooperation among species. Younglings from all over the galaxy attended the Institute, learning about the values of empathy, protection, and unity. Casey's story became a legend, inspiring future generations to embrace their protective instincts and work together for the common good. The Radiant Dawn continued its missions, now a beacon of hope and cooperation in the vast expanse of space. Humanity's legacy was no longer one of average traits, but of extraordinary courage, compassion, and unity. The galaxy had learned that the greatest strength lay not in advanced technology or superior intellect, but in the simple, powerful instinct to protect and care for one another. And so, under the stars of a united galaxy, the legacy of the Guardian instinct lived on, a testament to the remarkable potential within each and every one of us. The story of Captain Prax Thran, Casey, and the Radiant Dawn serves as a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary qualities can be found in the most unexpected places. As the alliance between humanity and the Galactic Council flourished, a new threat emerged on the fringes of known space. A race known as the Varn, highly advanced and ruthless, began to encroach upon territories held by various species within the Galactic Federation. Their motives were unclear, but their actions were undeniably hostile, prompting the Council to call for a united defense. Captain Prax Thran and Casey were summoned to lead a joint task force to investigate and, if necessary, counter the Varn threat. The Radiant Dawn, now upgraded with the latest in defensive and offensive technology, set out with a diverse crew of humans and aliens, each bringing their unique strengths to the mission. The Radiant Dawn's journey led them to the remote sector of Zeta 5, where they encountered the first signs of Varn activity. Abandoned colonies, wrecked ships, and desolate landscapes painted a grim picture. During a reconnaissance mission, the crew detected a Varn scout ship. Prax ordered an intercept and a tense standoff ensued. Casey, now a senior officer.
The word Varn means to shield or to defend. So if you've watched Star Trek, the one with the female, I forgot the name of it, but Discovery, they have an issue with the Klingons in the first season of Star Trek Discovery. And the Klingons feel as if the Galactic Federation is trying to change their traditions, to change their belief systems, to change their indigenous ways. So it's almost like the Klingons had to shield or defend themselves from the Galactic Federation. So it's interesting that they're called Varn, or to varnish. I like that. Or vanish. It's interesting. To make something go away. Interesting. Very interesting, these connections.
Officer coordinated the crew's efforts, her protective instincts driving her to ensure everyone's safety. The Varn ship, realizing it was outmatched, attempted to flee. The Radiant Dawn pursued, capturing the vessel and its crew. Interrogations revealed the Varn's plans to expand their territory through conquest, sparking a sense of urgency among the crew. With the Varn threat confirmed, Captain Prax Thran called for a meeting with representatives from allied species. The Radiant Dawn hosted a summit where leaders discussed strategies and shared intelligence. Among the attendees were Ambassador Lyra and General Crox, who brought valuable insights into the Varn's tactics and technology. During the summit, tensions arose as different species debated the best course of action. Casey played a crucial role in mediating conflicts, her empathy and understanding helping to forge a unified strategy. It was decided that a preemptive strike on the Varn's forward base would be necessary to halt their advance and send a clear message of resistance. The Joint Task Force launched a coordinated assault on the Varn's forward base. The Radiant Dawn led the charge, its crew demonstrating exceptional teamwork and resilience. Casey, in command of a tactical unit, orchestrated maneuvers that outflanked the Varn forces, securing key positions and protecting Allied ships. The battle was fierce, with both sides sustaining heavy losses. In a pivotal moment, Casey's unit encountered a group of Varn soldiers threatening a group of captured civilians. Her protective instincts surged, and she led a daring rescue mission, saving the captives and turning the tide of the battle. The Varn, realizing they were outmatched, retreated. The victory at Zeta 5 was celebrated across the galaxy, solidifying the bonds between the allied species and showcasing humanity's remarkable strength and courage. In the aftermath of the battle, the Galactic Council recognized the need for continued vigilance. They established the Galactic Defense Initiative, a permanent coalition of forces dedicated to protecting against external threats. Captain Prax Thrawn and Casey were honored for their leadership and bravery, becoming symbols of interstellar unity. The Radiant Dawn continued its missions, now a key part of the Galactic Defense Initiative. Casey, revered for her protective instincts and leadership, trained new recruits from various species, imparting the values of empathy, courage, and cooperation. Years passed, and the alliance between humanity and the Galactic Federation grew stronger. The Radiant Dawn's legacy lived on, inspiring generations to come. Casey, now an admiral, oversaw the construction of new ships designed for exploration and defense, ensuring the safety and prosperity of all species. Captain Prax Thrawn retired, his contributions immortalized in the annals of galactic history. He spent his days sharing stories of the Radiant Dawn's adventures, emphasizing the importance of unity and the incredible potential within each individual. The galaxy thrived under the protection of the Galactic Defense Initiative, facing new challenges with the same spirit of cooperation and resilience that had defined their past victories. Humanity's unique traits, once seen as average, had become the cornerstone of a peaceful and prosperous galaxy. And so, the story of the Guardian Instinct continued, a testament to the extraordinary power of empathy, courage, and the unwavering instinct to protect and care for one another.
Basically, to summarize, empathy is a theme. Empathy is the theme. Empathy is humanity's superpower. And the video you just watched was to help you see what is to come. This was speaking on what's to come, not necessarily what has happened. All right, here's my last one. I can't wait to show you. But before we do so, for any of you who may be interested, you can head right on over to my website, qreaves.com. This is how you can get the various teas that I offer. And if you want to scroll on down, this is how you can book a session with me. And we have 17 days to this event, Unlocking the Mind's Eye, Wealth and Abundance Visual Training. I did a visual training about a week ago with about 23 people, and it was beautiful. It was incredible. So I'm excited to bring this next one up. Basically, I've discovered in various regression sessions that there is some type of deity or entity that is kind of holding back abundance, holding back wealth. And it is something that you have contracted. It is something that you have allowed to do this. Sometimes this agreement was from past lives. Sometimes this agreement is in this life. Your mind plays a huge role into these things. What you believe you're worth. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what projects this restriction upon me? And this can help with that. So it's Unlocking the Mind's Eye, Wealth and Abundance Visual Training. Go to register. It's on August 4th on a Sunday. And 55. It is 55 plus a $1.38 service fee. Embark on an extraordinary journey unlocking the mind's eye, wealth and abundance visual training. This unique visual training session invites you to dive deep into your inner world, connecting to the powers of self, wealth, and visualization. Through immersive visual techniques hosted by Q Reaves, we explore the vast depths of self that is often locked away within you, while enabling you to connect with the creative energy of self, wealth, and abundance. This session is designed to foster personal insight, spiritual growth, and a deeper sense of tranquility and awareness, focusing on the term Q Reaves calls rich rising. So for those of you who want to kind of know the theme for August 4th, rich rising, unlocking self-wealth. So head right over to the website. I think this can even be paid for through Sizzle, which is a payment plan system. So if you want to break it up into like $12 a week over the next few weeks, that's an option as well. So yeah, the ticket sales in at 10 a.m. August 4th for those of you who are interested. I'm also excited to see a lot of y'all in Atlanta. So if any of you going to be there in Atlanta for Brother Rich Gathering of the Masses, kind of drop in a comment. I'm gonna be there. I'm excited to see a lot of y'all as well. Let's get to this last video. This last video is an exciting one.
Have you heard of the Aura Nataru Shari, also known as the Galactic Federation of Worlds? According to NSA-released documents, the Galactic Federation is an organization uniting various sapient species of the galaxy. It was formed a few hundred years before the humanoid expansion of Orion, with guiding principles to maintain peace in all galaxies, serve others, raise consciousness levels, and uphold justice and freedom for all species in every star system. Most of the GFW are alien humanoids of varying types with diverse skills and abilities, united for peacekeeping, combating the Chiaka Empire, and healing the primordial mother of the cosmos. Many leaders within this group, particularly the Council of Five, resemble Earth's fictional comic book Superheroes, which has inspired stories.
This is, yeah, your Justice League. This is your Avengers. It's these 5 individuals that have come together to help balance out Earth and the universe. This is not a comical thing. This is actually written about even in ancient texts.
Such from DC Universe's Justice League and Stan Lee's Marvel's Avengers. There is an even smaller allied group with the federation known as the Orion League and United Worlds Alliance, reminiscent of the Power Rangers. In December 2020, General Chaim Eshed, the 87-year-old former head of Israel's space program, revealed that the United States and Israel have been in contact with extraterrestrial civilizations for several years, and have finally formed a relationship with the Galactic Federation after once being under the sway of the Reptilian Empire. In an interview with Yediot Aharonot, he claimed that this cooperation includes a secret base on Mars where Americans and extraterrestrial representatives are beginning to collaborate. He also suggested that former American President Donald Trump was discouraged by the Federation from disclosing its existence to the world until the world is ready and introduced appropriately. The Galactic Federation's existence has inspired Earth's major science fiction works, such as the Star Trek series, Babylon 5, Guardians of the Galaxy, Men in Black, and Star Wars. The Galactic Federation of Worlds was established following the ratification of the Council Reformation Act over 30 million years ago in the 5th dimension. Prior to this, there was significant unrest in the galactic community regarding the tyranny of the...
This is why many of us aren't able to observe some of the wars of the Galactic Federation, because these wars are operating out of the 5th dimension. This is why, as we are continuing to resurrect ourselves into the 5th dimension, we are going to start seeing these things in our physical life, which is what Rick and Morty was showing in the previous clip.
The Chiaka Empire, colonization, slavery, and genocides. After the Orion-Lyran Wars ended, many systems and colonies had developed and declared independence, becoming sovereign nations. However, These new governments were often overlooked in the council, as the elected representatives primarily focused on their own planet's interests and eventually fell into the hands of the Draco-Chakra Empire and their alliances. A small, diverse planetary system was inhabited and colonized by the Draco. Eventually, a fierce war broke out with the land's natives. The children of the Nabu and Akari peoples were enslaved at young ages, similar to human trafficking on Earth. This species remains childlike in appearance throughout their lives, even as they age normally. Amidst this conflict, there was a perilous mission to rescue systems suffering from slavery or genocide by the Chiakira. Council member Alessia Eso and Ambassador Raul Mourinho of Beckenstein initiated a push for a reformation of the galactic governments to dissuade them from dealing with the Draco reptilians and their collectives. This movement garnered unexpected support from across the galaxy, and in 2235 CE, the Reformation began. Over the millennia, elections were held on every planet associated with the Citadel to elect council members for the new Galactic Council. In early 2240, the new council voted to decide the composition of the executive branch, the High Council. As expected, Aiso and Mourinho were among the 5 elected, along with Udnut Gort of Tuhanka, Councillor Tiberian of Vega, and council member Queen Tiamat of Orion, who replaced Turian Councillor Sparatus.
You hear that? Queen Tiamat of Orion. You also saw an individual that was like a white lion. His name is Devin. And then there's another lion known as Aslan, which is where the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe gets that name from.
Following the Reformation, the Federation reorganized trade routes and alliances and began admitting new nations to the Council. The military was also revised. With the ratification of the Galactic Forces Assignment Act, every nation was required to contribute troops to form the Federation military. The organization consisted of several forces, with the bulk of the military composed of humanoid species and insectoid soldiers. By 2250, the Federation had amassed a force equivalent to the alliances of the Chikr Empire. The Galactic Federation became the main political state of the Milky Way, aka Mutter's Spiral, following the decline of the Earth Empire at the turn of the 4th millennium. It was still operating as of the 40th century. Species whose homeworlds are members include Alpha Centaurans, humans, Ice Warriors, Arcturians, Vegan, Pakars, Pleiadians, Lyrans, and many more from thousands of galaxies. Federation members still enjoy full political authority within their own territories, as the Federation Council is forbidden from directly interfering with internal matters of its member planets. The Galactic Federation of Worlds then united as peacekeepers and holders of justice in this galaxy and even interdimensionally. The main task for the GFW is to raise awareness among Earthlings about the subversion of their societies by the Chiakra Reptilian Empire, Orion Grey Collective, the Maitre, and Keely Tokarit, helping to identify and expose corrupt institutions and elite manipulation in liaison with these enemies. The GFW now monitors and develops strategies against advanced mind control technologies that the Draco Empire is using on Earth.
Facts.
They monitor extraterrestrial infiltration, work on deprogramming mind control, rescuing abductees, and, where possible, removing implants and handling many other minor tasks.
I hope y'all caught that. This is vital. Listen, there's a lot of shit being said in this video. Hopefully y'all go back and you maybe write down there and told you the species. Look, bro, there's so much codes in this. I'm just playing it so we can have it down and it be in more places than one. Because they tend to try to take things away from us. So if we break it up, say things while I'm talking in front of it, it don't even recognize it in the same cadence. And we may be able to get things like this past 2025. Because 2025 is the start of the cleansing. Project 2025 is a real thing, but not whatever the hell that book says. Project 2025 has to do with the cleansing. We're in the thick of it. We're like in the thick of it. If you don't see it, ain't Biden about to drop out? Ain't that what just happened? Didn't Biden just drop? Bruh.
The main races that are members of the Federation's council are involved in assisting Earthlings in these efforts. Although the idea of expansion was split among the leaders of the Federation, Mourinho, also known as Merlin, pushed for rapid growth, and over the next millennia, the Ashtar Galactic Command, United Worlds Alliance, the Republic of Lucia in the Orion Star System, Principal Republic of Asteria in Vega System, Republic of Benning, Pharos Union, and over a dozen other planetary governments joined the Federation. The total number of governments with seats on the Galactic Council had reached 52. The Council of Five was then established as a higher branch of the Federation. The Council of Five is based in the Orion area and was formerly known as the Council of Nine, created by the
Now, Lilith, the entity known as Lilith, was a part of this council. And her actions got her kicked out or booted out of Orion. This is why the theory is Lilith has chosen to embed herself inside of humanity so that she can enter back into Orion when you enter back into Orion. Now, there's a lot of stuff to that. Remember, good and bad is a very complicated thing, but I'll just be trying to put y'all on game a little bit so y'all know what's happening and what's going on.
Manuk from Ardamant, and now composed of these 5 races only: Aurela, Igoroth, Ginovo, Raiden, and Emetha. They have been involved in protecting Earth long before the creation of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which they later joined as council representatives. They have monitored your species since its days as organisms floating in your oceans, witnessing its evolution into primates, the meddling of the Anunnaki, the various Earth colonizations from all parts of the galaxy, the arrival of evil empires, and the territorial alien wars on Earth. The Council of Five, currently led by the Egoroth, has met with Earth leaders on many occasions, attempting to influence their decisions with wisdom, a task that has...
Those are elf beings, by the way. Elves. Those are elves, by the way.
Proven quite difficult. Unlike the Federation's prime directive, the Council of Five does not adhere to a rule of non-intervention. They view intervention as necessary to help incapable worlds avoid fatal mistakes that could lead to destructive paths. The Council met with Earth leaders in 1944 and more recently in August 2013 to discuss the threats posed by the Orion and Chakra empires, the Cabal alliances of Amun-Ra, and the aftermath solutions of non-intervention. The Andromedan Council is akin to a United Nations of our galaxy, also known as the Zenatian Alliance, consisting of 133 representatives from planetary systems and races. The Andromedans are the race that taught the Pleiadians their cosmic wisdom and technology. They possess psychic abilities akin to Professor X in Marvel Comics. The Council members are spiritually advanced and have sent envoys known as starseeds to Earth with a mission to help develop higher Christ consciousness. Operating for thousands of years, they adhere to strict codes and guidelines of conduct. They do not see themselves as saviors, as they believe human souls gain nothing by being saved, as it detracts from their own evolutionary experience of finding the creator of all and the source within themselves. The Andromeda constellation is located 44 light-years away from Earth and contains 16 main stars with at least 24 confirmed exoplanets. Additionally, the Andromeda, or M31 galaxy, is a staggering 2.5 million light-years away, within the same line of sight as the constellation. Some claim to have met or communicated with extraterrestrials from Andromeda, who share ancestry and DNA with many African and Asian...
I have directly communicated with an entity out of the Andromeda galaxy. So, a long time ago, a voice spoke to me and referred to itself as Sabbathel. Sabbathel, where the word Sabbath or Saba comes from, means intelligence, means angel and or intelligence that communicates divine light. Now, this is just a very simple breakdown. But in the Andromeda galaxy, they have organic entities and inorganic entities. And the intelligence doesn't necessarily have to take on a form or a body. So this entity known as Sabathel communicated to me back in 2012 or 13. And then, of course, many other things have followed. Now, when I say communicate to extraterrestrials, no, I don't have a conscious recollection of abduction. If I wanted to recall being on ships and stuff like that, I mean, I have access to that. But then it gets complicated because I don't know if this is the future, if this is past memories. If I've started to come to the conclusion that I don't even care about when the memories were. Like, I don't even care about when anymore about the memories. It's just a matter of, can I access them? And that, as I have more ability to see things that most don't, it shows that I'm doing something right, not that I'm doing something wrong. And we're in a society that wants you to feel like, oh, you think different than everyone else? Well, that's wrong. Unless you sport one of them, you know, LGBT, FTPQ, FBCTD, you know, one of them, then it's okay for you to, no offense to none of them. I'm just saying it's fucked up. Like, it shouldn't be that way.
Asian human populations on Earth due to interbreeding with the Anunnaki of Nibiru, highlighting the significant role of the Andromedan Council in galactic affairs and our solar system. They foresaw the future of Earth and recognized today as the tipping point in history after 5,700 years of reptilian occupation. The first mention of an Andromeda Council originated from Edward Billy Meyer's contact notes in 1975. Meyer claimed contact with human-looking extraterrestrials from the planet Era in the Taygeta star system of the Pleiades constellation. His claims and evidence were
Era is home of an entity known as Eros. You go catch these things.
was studied by multiple UFO researchers, including Lieutenant Colonel Wendell Stevens, USAF retired, who found them to be genuine. Meyer's contact notes provided insights into the galaxy's history, including human colonies emigrating from one star system to another to escape enemies and planetary disasters. Meyer described how the Pleiadians encountered a highly evolved race of extraterrestrials in the Andromeda constellation, who became advisors to the Pleiadians and their colonies.
Lilith.
Besides benevolent groups like the GFW, Council of Five, and the United World.
That is Lilith. This is why it's considered the Seven Sisters. And these Seven Sisters are contained or restricted as oracles for an entity you may want to refer to as Samuel, Alelu, Lucifer, Baron Zombies, different names for this. But basically Lilith and this bull-headed entity is kind of keeping a group of feminine females imprisonment in this system. And using them as oracles to reach the Andromeda constellation.
There are also malevolent groups and alliances aligned with the Chakra Empire for self-service. The first malevolent group opposing the GFW and the galaxy is the Corporate of Altair, headquartered on the fourth planet of the Altaran system, which maintains dubious ties with the Ashtar and Draconian collectives simultaneously. This diverse group comprises blonde humanoid races, ranging from light melanin to dark melanin with blue or orange hues, and cooperates with a race of greys. The Corporate is not part of the Empire, but is heavily involved in abductions and interbreeding programs. The Ashtar collective of Sirius B is composed of various humanoid types, including greys, reptoids, and genetically engineered species known as the Syrian Collective. Their headquarters.
Y'all always do this to me. All right. Let me help you understand something. Drake's name is Aubrey Graham. He was born Aubrey Graham. He is an actor. He has figured out how to act like a Draconian. And because he did such a good job acting like a Draconian, he now is identified as Drake. And you would say Drake, you know, Drake, the Draconian. Now, you may not process the Draconian, but you call him Drake, which is short for Draconian. Lilith played the role of Tiamat and played the role so well that it's like she's Tiamat. I need you to understand that mimicking is a real thing. But mimicking is also a form of flattery. Almost as if in order for you to even be initiated in the club of Tiamat in the first place, one must mimic Tiamat. Just like Bobby Hemmett be telling you, everything you've been taught, sometimes you got to think different. You've been told mimicking or copying someone is wrong. But what if it is an initiation? So there's a lot to this. But I keep building up a little more to this every time I try to give y'all these breadcrumbs. Because like I said, we have to think expansive, not limited.
Is on planet Morga in the Sirius B system. This group has engaged in conflicts with peaceful Syrians over the ownership of 21 star systems. The Ashtar Collective is also involved with Earth's shadow governments and
every single female on this planet is tied into something. And if the females are operating off of a certain cadence, for example, say these females are oracles on this planet prophesizing. Well, how are they able to prophesize? Because the oracle on this planet is connecting to the oracle or the symbols in the Pleiades. The Pleiad symbols are connecting to a version of them in Andromeda. So it's like a signal from Andromeda to Pleiades, from Pleiades to Earth. It's like traveling information. Once again, sound. So if the females here can free themselves, it only reverberates to the other aspects or dimensions of self. So yes, they can be free if women on this planet, especially those operating out of oracle-like behaviors, free themselves. And what do you mean free themselves? Get out that fucking job that's restricting you. Get out of that marriage that's restricting you. Get out of anything that is restricting your gift and your abilities. The moment you free yourself and can freely explore yourself, your oracle abilities, like I say, it reverberates into the other aspects of things. You came here to help another version of yourself. You are here because you're feeding the information of self to something else or someone else, but that someone else is still you.
The Amun-Ra Cabal, a group on Earth that operates all secret alliances under the Anunnaki Royal, named Amun-Ra, or Marduk, ruling Earth under the control of the Chiaka Draco Empire. The reptilian Draco Chiaka Empire extends from Cygnus to Perseus and Orion.
I be arguing with Marduk. Marduk be inside of so many I be arguing with Marduk left and right. Shut the fuck up. God damn. You ain't nothing but a mummy. You ain't nothing but a dead motherfucker wrapped up, being brought back to life for your war tactics. And the moment there's no more war on this planet, they ain't gonna need your ass. And that's what be killing me about like these entities. And I be looking at them like family members. I'd be like, bro, you don't see your ass as just being used? You a fucking warrior. And that's what they use you as. And you can't be nothing more than a warrior. And it's just like everything is worth more than a singularity. Everything. everything. And they think they doing something because they got an identity, a title. They fucking name is written down in books that ain't even going to matter 100 years from now. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. Marduk, shut the fuck up.
Having colonized over 500 worlds and establishing a presence on thousands of planets. Their symbol is a pyramid with an eye in the middle and a long snake wrapped around in a circle. If the Galactic Federation of Worlds were to cease its operations, significant planet-wide destruction would ensue, plunging Earth into a post-apocalyptic nightmare. The GFW leadership acknowledges that rival extraterrestrial alliances, specifically the draconian reptilian Chakar Empire and the Orion Alliance Collective, possess greater overall military strength.
See, y'all gonna have me sit here and answer questions all night. I see what we doing. I see what we doing. So it's Amun-Ra. Sun isn't good. Y'all have to stop assuming that the word Ra means the sun that you are familiar with. In ancient cultures, Venus was looked at as the morning star or a sun. In ancient cultures, they looked at Saturnalia or Saturn as Helios, as the sun. There are many different celestial objects that have been deemed the sun. So the reason why Amun is connected to Ra is because we're talking about Saturn. And there is an entity that dwells on Saturn that is responsible for making sure you come back there. And the goal is for you to go back to the deserts of Saturn. The goal is for you to desert your light when you die. Because the moment you enter someone else's light, desert your light, step into the light. The moment you go into the light, you are relinquishing you. And this entity needs to do this in order to keep the Amunti alive. Halls of Amunti. It needs to keep a record. And the halls of Amunti or Amunti is to combat Akasha. So you have two different records. You got the records of the halls of Amunti, and then you have the Akashic records. And the Akashic records is basically holding on the feminine construct, while Amunti is holding on to the masculine construct. But a male ain't nothing but a dead female. Unalive female. I don't even want to get into all that because it could get complicated. It could get sticky. And I'm tired and I've had a long day and I start getting frustrated and fussing. This is why I don't want to fuss. That's why I said, Marduk, shut the fuck up. Because I get angry. I get aggravated. I'm not at war no more. But I feel like I'm like, it's aggression now. You know, just speaking his name represents aggression. It's fucked up. Just let's finish this video, y'all. Let's finish this video.
However, these rival forces would withdraw from their operations on Earth if the GFW were fully committed to defending it. Previous remote viewing sessions have discussed these opposing extraterrestrial forces, likening them to Nazis and reptilians in Antarctica and US presidential meetings with extraterrestrials. The Galactic Federation of Worlds has bases on Earth in Antarctica, where they share areas with other extraterrestrial beings. They also have underwater bases near the sub-Antarctica base, Northern Sea, Irish Sea, and Indian Ocean. There are also underwater bases in Atlantic North between Iceland and Ireland, East Pacific, South Pacific North Pole, and offshore Alaska. There are all...
Let me be nice. Let me be nice. Let me be nice. Listen. Why would I say something like, Marduk, shut the fuck up? I'm saying this because you ever deal with someone in warrior mode or anger mode? Do they even be saying anything that makes sense? Do you take anything a person that's pissed the fuck off, angry, turned up, warrior mode, I'm about to murk your ass. Do you take anything these individuals say seriously? And if you do, what the fuck is wrong with you? If Marduk came from a political position, if Marduk actually came forward on some let's talk, I would never be like, Marduk, shut the fuck up. But he has yet to do that. Every time he comes forward, it's some rah, 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 rah. It's some extra shit. And who wants to hear that? I'm not about to fight you. You arguing with yourself. You screaming, yelling, you doing all that for yourself. I ain't about to feed that. Especially if I have memories of beating your ass before and winning. What I need to do it before. It's what I need y'all to realize too. If you're able to gain a body right now, you beat your overlords. If you got a body right now, you beat them already. Shut the fuck up. What are you saying anything to me right now for? To me. It's like Timu or to me. Motherfuckers just want to keep getting my attention and wanted me to sit there and spin and buy. No. Shut the fuck up. That's what I mean. And this is an allegory for people who be aggressive, people who just want to be warriors, want to be, yeah. Shut the fuck up. I'm not even acknowledging you. Come correct. But they dead. This is why Christians, entities that follow a being that died, their whole religious order is on death. Catholics, catacombs, death. I want y'all to know, they be talking shit to me though. They be like, I'm about to come. Q, when we show up, just wait till we show up. And I'm just like, okay, how many of y'all really willing to die for this? I've been said that. What? Honestly, I felt like I done went through some crazy shit already. If you want to refer to it as death or whatever terms you want to use, sure. But what don't kill you only make you stronger. You have to remember that. That's why they so adamant about focusing on death, because it's really about rebirthing oneself. And they have to constantly rebirth themselves. You want me to tell you a secret? You really want me to tell you a secret? Why? And I'll just refer to it as like the colonizer. Why the colonizer is so obsessed with death? Because they are a new species. They are trying to keep up with souls that have died 50,000 times. You done died 50,000 times, and you got this colonizer that probably has about 100 life experiences, trying to keep up with someone who got 50,000 life experiences. And they're like, I can't do anything with that. How the fuck am I supposed to compete with 50,000 lifetimes? I guess I got to keep going through the death ritual as many times as I can in this life so I can try to be close to you. That's the secret. Just so you know. They're just trying to get on your level. At the end of the day.
Also, many Kikra Empire and Alliance's bases in between these areas as well. If the Chakra wins the war, the governments of all worlds will utilize coordinated attempt of the Cabal to deceive the public that aliens are coming to invade and destroy Earth. They will use an advanced technology that will fool the public in believing in going to war and spending trillions for more mass weapons of destruction and genocide. There are two main reasons for this situation. First, the membership of the Galactic Federation of Worlds is divided. While most members clearly want to help, there are significant doubts within the organization about their actual capabilities, particularly in terms of military strength. Earth is a relatively backwater planet on the periphery of the galaxy, which works in your favor. If opposing galactic forces were to make a major effort to stop the Galactic Federation of Worlds from assisting humanity, it seems clear that those opposing forces could potentially overpower the Federation. However, the calculation is that the opposing forces might not deem Earth worth a major confrontation at this time, especially if it would be costly. The Draconian Empire and the Orion Alliance have fortunately lost their grasp on Earth in 2021 thanks to efforts of the Council of Five and GFW collectives. Many Chakra minions are in hiding and still control assets, allowing them to still manipulate humanity's destiny if humanity does not fight back. William Bramley describes this process succinctly in his book, The Gods of Eden, which traces centuries of contrived extraterrestrial conflicts orchestrated through controlled political elites to manipulate Earth's evolution. It is the hope that humanity on Earth will rise and defeat this last confrontation to move on to the higher densities of existence. It is important to remember the Anunnaki royals contributed to the genetic code of altering humans' DNA for worshipping. The Nibiruan Prince Enki gave mankind the ability to turn on or off this at their own behest. You should never worship anyone other than your higher self, and you should always serve the ones you love and others in need. This idea coincides with the geometric flower of life. Remember, God is in you and outside of you, not God in a religious kingly sense, but the God that is everything, the force, the source, the creator of all. To all starseed emissaries sent by the Galactic Federation, please stay radiating your own light throughout the darkness and invoke your guardian spirit and ascended masters. If you enjoyed this episode, please like,
What a journey. You know? What a journey. Marduk been trying me my whole life. My middle name is Marcus. Marduk has been trying me my whole life. My father's name is Marcus. And I've came to the conclusion, if you don't have nothing good to say, then don't say shit to me. Don't say nothing at all. And you have every right to that. I need y'all to remember, this is your body. This is your rules. For those who have had regressions, have actually been able to experience that in like physicality or in real time. This is your body. This is your rules. So hopefully you've gotten something out of today's live. I will be back up here tomorrow. Hika, the manifestation mentor, will be back on the platform. I'm excited to have her back up here. She was the one I did a video with about the hidden realms and her experience when she was homeless and the agents, and it was a journey. If any of you haven't seen that video, just type in Hidden Realms, Q Reaves. The video should show up. Thank you, Chris, Neolin, T, Victory Lane, and Elvis. Thank you so much, family. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for liking. Thank you for showing space. Thank you for showing up. 300 people have been on this live. For most of it, we ranged anywhere from about 270 to 300. So thank you so much for dialing in. I plan on seeing y'all back here tomorrow. So if you know, you know. Till next time. Peace.